Okay, everybody, welcome to Merge Flow. My name is Jay. There's a couple things I want you to get at home if you have it. I would like you to go grab your tennis balls if you have them. You can grab two if you have two. If you just have one, that's fine. And if you have something similar to a tennis ball, that will work too. There are tune-up, like those myofascial release balls that some people have. Really, it's just anything kind of with a little bit of give to it, but also firm enough that it doesn't totally collapse. That's why I like tennis balls, because they're just firm enough, but they're not like lying on like a bowling ball, which is solid marble. So go ahead and grab one or two tennis balls if you have them. If you do not, I have come up with a little workaround for that, so don't fret if you do not have those. But if you do, go ahead and grab those. And any other props that you might like, if you want to make pretend bolsters out of a couple of books, you can use some blankets. A heavy, sort of dense sofa cushion is good. So any other props that you might want, go ahead and grab those now. So you'll have those. And this is going to be an hour-long Merge Flow class. We're going to do some myofascial rolling, some cross-body movement with Merge. We're also going to open up the psoas a lot, which are those deep hip flexor muscles on the front, which tend to be short and tight on most of us. I know mine are right now because I've been sitting at my desk for a couple hours. So for those of you that have any kind of desk job stuff going on, or you've been sitting a lot, this class will be really good for you, because our hip flexor muscles in the front get really short and tight when we sit too much. And so then when we try to stand up, we're like, ugh, we can't sit up all the way. So that's an important thing to remember. If you're sitting a lot, try to counteract that with some standing and some stretching in the front body, because you want to have balance in your body. Think of your body as a pulley system. And if you're really tight on one side, it's going to overstretch, make the other side too long. And so you kind of want to have that perfect balance between strength and flexibility on the front, back, sides, all of the above. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Here's my little cheat sheet to keep me on task. So if I'm looking at that, just know that that's what that is. I have my tennis balls in front here that we're going to use. And I'm just kind of setting everything else off to the side. My phone is there just so I can have some vague idea of what time it is. So I'm going to start sitting, actually I'm going to start kneeling, I should say, in Hero. So you have the option of starting cross-legged like I just was. One of the proponents, one of the things about Merge is that it is helpful to allow yourself some space. And so kneeling in Thunderbolt or Hero, especially if you're propped up on something, it gives your hip flexors just a little bit more space so your hips aren't dropped so low. So that's how I'm going to start today. Knees are approximately about hip width apart, and I'm sitting on the blocks. I'm not sitting on my heels, but you can sit on your heels and start in Thunderbolt if that's comfortable for you. That's fine. The main thing is that you're going to be able to stay here for, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're really acutely uncomfortable, then change your position. So once you're situated and you're ready, have your hands palms down on your legs, on your thighs, and just take a moment and close your eyes. Just disconnect from all those visual cues, the shiny objects in the room, and I want you to take that focus, that awareness from outside the body, inside the body. And just take a couple of breaths and notice how you're feeling. And if it helps, if you're still having a hard time kind of transitioning or shifting your focus, then just imagine that you're opening up an imaginary closet in your mind. Maybe it's a drawer. And just put into that drawer, into that closet, all the distractions, the worries, the things that are kind of pulling you off of your mat and out of your body. See if you can just set those aside. They'll still be there when you're done if they're important. But you're just giving yourself a little bit of a break from all those things that tend to make us tense and stressed. And see yourself with all those things in that closet door, in that drawer, closing the closet door, shutting the drawer, and just leave them there. And just start to notice what's going on in your body on a physical level. Notice physical sensation in your body. Just observing and noticing, not judging, criticizing. Check in with your energy, those subtle little energetic channels and low-level hums in the body. See if you can just notice what's going on with those today, what those feel like. And focusing in on your mind, noticing if you're really feeling that merge of mind and body all together on your mat, ready to practice. Our minds like to wander, that's just what they do. So just notice when your mind starts to take off somewhere and bring your focus, your awareness right back to your breath. Keeping that focus on your breath is what really encourages your mind to stay present in your body during the whole class. We're going to start with some alternate nostril breathing today. So you can go ahead and take your dominant hand and place the pointer finger and the middle finger right in the center of the forehead on the third eye, if you like. Some people like to curl the fingers in and put their knuckles there. That's okay, it's fine. I like to put my fingertips there, but it's really up to you. You're going to use your thumb to close off one side and your ring finger and or your pinky to close off the other side. So take a couple sniffs. I know allergies are bad this time of year. Mine are crazy bad. So just do the best that you can here. I want you just to really concentrate on breathing through one side at a time. So when you are ready, go ahead and close off the right nostril. Inhale through the left only. Pause at the top, full of breath, full of air, brief little pause. And then release the opposite side, release the right nostril, close off the left, and exhale through the right side only. All the way to empty. When you get to the very bottom of that exhale, you can have a brief pause, or you can move right into the inhale back in that right side, inhaling back in the right nostril. When you get all the way to the top and you're full of air, close off the right side, brief pause with both sides closed off, if you can, and then release the left nostril and go ahead and exhale through the left nostril only. You've come full circle back to where you started. Just continue moving through a few more rounds of those, inhaling through the left nostril, pausing when full of breath, both sides closed off, exhaling through the right, allowing yourself to really exhale all the way to empty. And then when you're empty, pause or inhale right back into that right nostril, breathing right into those two fingertips and right behind the forehead, deep into the nasal passages, into the brain. Close off the right, brief pause with both sides closed. And then when you're ready, exhale, opening the left side, down the left nostril. Continue breathing here, your own pace, your own speed. And really notice how it feels to breathe through one nostril at a time. Is it a struggle for you? If it is, just kind of take your time. Don't feel like you have huge, deep breaths or pauses here. And also notice which side feels like it's a little more clogged than the other. See if you can focus on clearing, breathing a little bit more energy and awareness into that clogged side. See if you can loosen some of that up. Also balancing both sides of the brain. When you breathe through both nostrils, usually the more clogged side will naturally kind of not get as much air. So this is your opportunity to really clear out each side one at a time. Last 2 rounds here, taking your time. And as you breathe into one nostril, feel that whole side of the face light up. So as you breathe into the left nostril, feel the left side of the brain light up and start humming, buzzing with energy. It can be that whole side of the face, maybe even that whole side of the body. So really just start to feel that energy that you're creating, breathing through one side at a time, as a buzz, a low level hum in that side of the brain, the face, the body. So whichever nostril you're breathing through, that side of the body is lighting up. And one more cycle here. And at the bottom of that last exhale, back where you started, at the bottom of that left nostril, go ahead and carefully release your fingers all the way down. Just relax that arm and just take a couple sniffs here. If you need to, blow your nose, but just take a moment breathing through both nostrils now. Now I want you to turn your hands, palms up, and just take a moment and enjoy feeling the air moving through both sides now. Feel how much more open and expansive that breath feels now that you've allowed yourself to come in through both nostrils at the same time. Just notice feeling a little bit more balanced. Left, right. And when you're ready, let's take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let the left ear drop to the left shoulder. Left hand stays right where it is, palm up. Right arm reaches out to the side. Now I want you to circle that wrist. Just kind of roll that wrist around a couple of times one way, a couple of times the other way. Go ahead and turn that palm to face behind you and take the hand behind you and work the back of the hand around to the opposite waist, and you can kind of allow the other arm to kind of come back where you can hook the elbow and bring that palm back. If that's too strong on the shoulder, you can just skip grabbing the elbow part if you need to. And just hold it right here and try to relax. Left ear to the left shoulder. You can slowly tilt the head a little bit forward, bringing the chin closer into the collarbones, and notice how that changes the stretch. Maybe you tip the chin back and up a little bit. Going into the sternocleidomastoid in the front side of the neck. Just move back and forth a few times. And then I want you to hold where it feels tighter. A couple breaths here. Big inhale through the nose. Big sigh. All the way out through the mouth. Carefully release the elbow from the hand and just slide the hand down the back. Bring the hand up and over. And you're going to take this hand over to the collarbone right here. From here, you're going to lift the head up and you're going to just pin down right in that joint. Pin down right above that collarbone. If it feels weird to do it there, you can try pinning it below. But you want to pin right into that joint, right above or right below. Kind of pinning the skin down. From here, you're going to turn to the left. And then pull the chin in like you're a little bit of a turtle. And you're kind of stretching those muscles right along the side of the throat, the neck, into the shoulder. My hand, if your hands are a little bit slippery, just try to do the best you can. Keeping that chin down and pulling it back. And slowly on an exhale, release the hand down. Both hands are going to come back, palms up. And from here, just go ahead and let your chin come down to the collarbones. Let your chin be heavy. And go ahead and roll the ear to one shoulder. And roll the ear to the other shoulder. Just side to side a couple of times. back to center. If you're sitting in a cross-legged position, just lean a little bit forward. If you're kneeling, same thing, lean a little bit forward. Lift the feet and just kind of smack the feet on the ground. You can tuck the toes under and just come back a little bit and have a little bit of a stretch for the bottoms of the feet here. You've been kneeling for a bit. I kind of want to give the body a little bit of a reset button. So remember, if you can't stand, taking the body back onto the heels, then just bring your hands forward and have a little bit less weight back on those heels. All right, last few breaths here, and then we're going to go ahead and do that same series on the other side. And when you're ready, deep breath in through the nose. And as you sigh, come forward, smack out those feet again. And then go ahead and sit back, and we're going to do that same series on the other side. So go ahead and release your right ear to the right shoulder. Palm is coming up on that right thigh. Left arm comes out to the side and just slowly circle the wrist a couple times one way. Just easy warm up in the wrist, just kind of some slow rolling circles through the wrist. And then go ahead and keep the palm facing back. Take that arm, reach it down around behind you, coming around the opposite waist. If you can, hook the hand around the opposite elbow. If you can't, that's okay. Grab onto the shirt or whatever you have. And then from here, just go ahead and release that right ear to the right shoulder. Remember, if it's too strong in the shoulder, you can back out, do whatever you need to do. So from here, you can kind of let the chin come forward towards the collarbones, or you can lift the chin up and a little bit back at an angle, going after that SCM, that sternocleidomastoid on the opposite side of the neck. Just come up and down a couple of times, finding that spot where you really feel like your muscles are tight and they need a little bit of a stretch. And then hold it right here, hold it here, open up. And big inhale through the nose. As you exhale, carefully bring the head forward, release the elbows, slide the arms slowly down the low back around. Now go ahead and take this hand to the opposite collarbone, right, pinning right in by that joint, right above, right below, wherever you kind of get the skin to sort of feel like it's held firm, because that traction is what you're going to stretch out of, that pinning down of the skin of the fascia right there. So from here, you're going to slowly turn to the right, and as you pin down that skin, you're going to pull the chin in like you're a turtle. Deep breath in and exhale, slowly release that, coming back to the front. Now grab both hands and gently kind of crossing the hands, just kind of pin right into the collarbones and into the upper part of the chest, and just pinning that down. Really keep the chin in and lift the chin and open up and stretch. And slowly bring your head forward. Release those arms down. Go ahead and slowly come forward off of your blocks, or moving from a cross-legged position, dropping the hips to one side and coming into your tabletop position on your mat. So once you get in your tabletop position, go ahead and have your hands approximately shoulder width apart. No hard and fast rules here. Just find a position that feels comfortable to you, where the joints feel like they're stacked. Same with the hips and the knees. Holding it here, I want you to go ahead, and I'm going to shift a little bit because I'm about to kick something. So make sure when you go ahead and extend your right leg back, make sure you feel like you're not going to kick anything. And you're going to hold it here And really bring the belly button to the spine, feeling nice and strong here. Lift that right leg. Hold it right here. Take the left arm in front. So left arm is lifted. Right leg is lifted, so you're balancing on the right hand and the left knee. Big inhale, and as you exhale, pull the elbow to the knee, and inhale, extend long. 4 more like that. Exhale, pull, crunch elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch. The last 3, pull it in, reach. Last 2. And last 1. Reach long, hold it right here. Now go ahead and bend the back leg and bend the front arm, and you're gonna kind of have the elbow out to the side. And from here, you're gonna push the right foot up and lift the left elbow back and look over the left shoulder, squeezing the right glute and the left flat, and lower back down. And I want you to come across and tap the knee and the elbow. And then lift again, reach across the body, and come forward and tap. Last 3 times here. Reach, come across, tap. Last 2. And last 1. Last little hold, last little squeeze. Go ahead and reach back and grab that foot if you can. Going for the bind, lifting that leg up behind you and pressing the foot into that hand. Go ahead and make sure you're not leaking in the ribs. Pull that belly button to the spine. From here, carefully release the right foot back. Both hands come together and bring the left knee forward and go ahead and drop the back right knee down. So you're not in a pigeon. The front left heel is underneath the left hip. If you can't come back as far, just shift forward a little bit where you're taking some weight off that heel. So we're kind of in like a one-legged child's pose, if you will. Coming onto the fists or the fingers, I want you to rock those hips side to side. So when the hip drops, the right hip drops to the floor, look over the left shoulder, come through center. Same thing other side, just kind of rock. Your head goes the opposite direction of where that hip is dropping to the floor. And one more time. So now you're going to go ahead and look over the left shoulder and hold it here. So you're trying to get into the front of the right hip. So one of the options that you have, if you're not feeling this stretch, is to really try to release the right hip down. You can press the top of the right foot into the mat and lift the right knee off of the floor. That's a little bit stronger stretch for the right psoas. The other option is to tuck the right toes under and lift it here. So you're pressing through the right heel, pressing the right leg straight, and turning to look over the left shoulder to really get into the front of that left, in front of the right hip. Big inhale, big sigh. Slowly, when you're ready, turn back towards the front. Last little lift here, coming up onto the fingertips, lifting up, really pressing, lifting that right leg, pushing through that right heel. Release that right knee down, take the left hand across the body, and then you're going to reach back with the right hand if you can and grab the right foot, and just use the right hand to pull that heel into your hip. Just a little cross-body balance. Left hand is kind of reaching across in front of the right hip. And see if you can go ahead and just release the right hip down a little bit right here. And release that right foot. Go ahead and release that leg down. Plant the hands on either side. Right by underneath both shoulders. Carefully tuck the back toes under. Lift the hips and come into your downward facing dog. And just kind of take a minute and sort of shake out the legs. You can extend the hands a little bit forward. Just kind of find a space between the hands and feet that works for you. Lift and lower the heels a couple of times.
Go ahead and flip over one foot. Whoops, I'm grabbing a block, I don't mean to. And I don't know if you can see me, I'm gonna try to move those blocks out of the way. So just flip over onto the top of one foot. Maybe let the ankle kind of drop out a little bit, stretching the top of that foot. When you're ready, switch sides. You can let the ankle drop out a little bit. Back to center. And from here, in your down dog, you're gonna pull forward into that plank. Hold that plank, look down between your hands. Really pull the belly button to the spine. Feel nice and engaged in that whole body. This is a whole body move. And from here, slowly with control, lower your body all the way down to the mat. Coming all the way onto the belly. Release the tops of the feet to the mat. Once you get all the way down, I want you to inhale up to a Sphinx pose. Turn the palms up. And just kind of rock those hips side to side a little bit. We're doing a lot of psoas work today, which is a merge principle. The belief that we're in forward flexion too much in the front of the hip, which we usually are. So go ahead and drop the hips all the way to the left and just look over the right shoulder. And then when you're ready, come through center, look over the left. Next time you come through center, bend the legs and go ahead and drop the feet all the way to the left while you look over the right shoulder. And come through center, other way. And back to center, keeping the legs bent, coming up onto the elbows. Ground through the low belly and the pubic bone to keep the space in the back. Turn those palms up, and I want you to squeeze the back body. See if you can get a little subtle lift in the hips right here. And from here, lower the toes towards the mat, and inhale, bring those heels back in. Lower the toes, bring them back. One more time, lower the toes. This time when you bring the heels back in, go ahead and drop your chin onto your hands right here. So once you get here, and if your knees feel like they're outside the hips a little bit too wide, you can shift them in a little bit. You want your knees about hip width apart. Go ahead and flex the feet. And from here, you're going to press the left knee and the left low belly, left hip into the floor and lift the right leg up. Hold it right here. Just lower that leg and lift that leg. Lower and lift. Another one of the principles of merge is that we're a little bit weak and overstretched on the back body. So we're going to do a lot of back body strengthening here. Hold this up, point and flex, point, flex. One more time, point and flex. Last little hold here, lift it up as high as you can. And release that leg all the way down. Straighten those legs, shake that out. Go ahead and tuck the toes under and just jiggle your whole body forward and back on the mat. A little whole body jiggle. Coming back to center, go ahead and drop your cheek to the floor or onto your hands. Bend the legs and let your feet just kind of do a lazy rock, side to side. Lazy rock of the feet. And then go ahead and make that rock into a circle as you turn your head the other way. So just a slow little circle with the feet. Circling around, maybe a couple times one way, change direction. And coming back to center, lift your head again, chin back on the hands. Adjust the knees so they feel like they're hip width apart. So remember here, you're going to press the right hip, right knee, right side of the body into the mat. Lift the left leg up, flex that foot. So lift it up and lower it back down. Press it up and lower, lift and lower. Last two. Last one. So I want you to take it back up, hold it up, point and flex. Point, flex. One more time. Hold that flex, lift that leg up as high as you can, still trying to keep that right hip down, and release the knee all the way down, extend the legs long. Same wiggle, same little rock side to side. And tuck the toes under, whole body jiggle. Shake that off. This is a Thomas Hanna somatic thing, I love it. Shaking it out. Okay, go ahead and release the knees, release the tops of the feet, bring the hands in close by the ribs. So I want you to have your forehead right above the floor. And I want you to dig your hands into the mat and pull the elbows and the hands back and reach the crown of the head forward. And see if you can create some space in the neck. Kind of giving that cervical spine a little bit of a stretch. And also strengthening the muscles in the back of the neck. From here, keeping this position, bring the belly button to the spine, really engage the muscles of the shoulders and the upper back. You're going to take a deep breath in. As you exhale slowly with control, push the mat away from you, come up, and I want you to push back into a child's pose. So knees kind of come out wide towards opposite sides of the mat. And you can walk your hands in front, drop your forehead down, or you can have your hands underneath your forehead. You can kind of roll your forehead along the bones of the hands, massaging the forehead if you like. You can just kind of relax, giving the low back a little bit of love. Deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly pull the belly button to the spine. Press the hands away from you. Come back. Fists come down on the floor or fingertips. Now, before you lift the hips, I want you to engage the glutes and use the glutes to lift the hips and open up the front body, peeling open the front body one section at a time, coming all the way up to the head. From here, close off the throat. Chin comes down, chest comes down, ribs, belly coming all the way down. And just reach the hands back as you lower your forehead to the mat. Again, slowly inhale up. Fist comes down, using the glutes to protect the back. Make those glutes do the work. Lift, open, stretch that front body, rolling open, coming up to the chin last. And then from here, exhale, chin down, chest, ribs, belly. Last time, go ahead and take the fingertips in front, lower the head down here. From here, belly button to the spine, and just sort of slide the hands in. Fists behind you, lift last one of these, open up. Exhale, all the way down. Coming forward, this time back into your tabletop. From here, you're going to lift the left leg, take the right arm forward, switching sides right here. Belly button to spine, really getting that lift, feeling strong in opposite sides of the body. Right arm, left leg, deep breath in. Exhale, elbow to knee, crunch. Inhale, reach long. Keep pushing that floor away with that left hand. Exhale, crunch, pull it in. Inhale, reach long. 3 more. Last 2. One more time. Reach it long, hold it long. Nice and strong here. Bend the back leg and go ahead and bring the right elbow out to the side. So from here, you're going to lift the left leg using the left glute and pull the right elbow back, activating that right lat, and then come forward and exhale, elbow to knee. Lift, pull. Those are those opposite fascial spiral lines that are connected. Inhale and exhale, come across. I think we have 2 more, but it's hard to count right here. Last one, pull it up, last little hold. If you can, reach back, grab the foot and or the ankle, and lift that leg up behind. Try to pull those ribs in. And when you're ready, on an exhale, release the foot. Taking both hands down and go ahead and bring the right knee forward and sink onto the right hip with the left leg long. If this doesn't feel good to do this, remember you can always shift forward a little bit, taking weight off of the right hip, right heel. Walk the hands in, fingertips, fists. If you have blocks at home or books or something you want to use to support yourself here, that's fine. Once you get here, take that subtle little rock. So like the left hip sinks to the floor, look over the right shoulder. And then come through center on an inhale. And exhale, look the other way. And just rock side to side a couple more times. Getting into the left psoas this time. The left hip flexor. I have to keep remembering that to talk to the wall. And next time you come where the left hip is dropping and you're looking over the right shoulder, hold it here. So from here, coming up onto the fingertips, lifting the chest a little bit. If you're feeling a really strong stretch here, don't change a thing. If you're not, press the top of the left foot into the floor and lift the left knee. Really still allowing yourself to sink into that stretch on that left hip. If you're still not feeling it, release the left knee, tuck the toes under, and then lift the left knee again. Allowing the left hip to release to the floor, pressing strong through the left heel, keeping the left leg still moving towards straight. Even if it's not straight, it's the action of pressing it straight. Looking over that right side, hold it here, breathe. And deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly come forward. Last little lift right here, coming up onto the fingertips, lift up. You can stay here if you like, or you can release the left knee. Walk the right hand across, come back, grab onto that foot and or ankle, and pull the left heel towards the left hip with your right hand kind of crossed over to balance over on the left side of the mat. Try to kind of release the left hip to the floor, trying to keep the hips squared as much as you can. And release that left foot down to the mat. Go ahead and have both hands towards the sides of the mat, kind of near the shoulders. Tuck the back toes under on that left foot. Lift the back knee and lift the hips and come up into that downward facing dog again. Go ahead and pedal out from side to side. Lifting and lowering the heels, kind of stretching the back body. And from here, go ahead and shift the left foot to the center of the mat. Lift the right leg up. So left heel sinks, right toes rise. Lift that right leg up. From here, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the right knee. Just tap the right elbow. Inhale, lift it up. Knee to nose. And lift it back up and knee across. Lift it up. Go ahead and pull the right foot through. Coming into a high lunge with the right foot forward, left foot back. Come all the way up, hands on your hips. So we're gonna do a little push off, kind of a runner's crossbody thing. Sorry, I have like a weird frog in my throat, which of course happens when I'm on camera. So from here, you're gonna have your right leg is in front, your left arm is forward. The right arm is back. So from here, you're gonna dip the back knee, and then you're gonna push off that back foot and reach the other arm forward as you plant that left foot slightly in front of the right. And then inhale, come back again. Reach back, dip that back knee. Coming up from here, you're gonna push off and keep that glute strong on that right side. One more of these, reach back. And from here, push off, step it forward. Now come back, and we're gonna do a little bit more crossbody work here. So palms together in front, And from here, you're gonna tap the left elbow to the right knee, and then come up. You're gonna push off the back leg, bring it forward, come across, tap right elbow to left knee. I'm gonna try not to knock myself out on the mantle. Lift the leg behind you, coming forward, and slowly bend the leg and lower that back foot, coming back into that lunge. 2 more of those. Come across, back to center, push off the back leg, lift, the left knee in front, cross, and from here slowly extend the leg back. You can come a little bit further forward. I'm running into the mantle, and then lower the foot, coming back into that lunge. So try to move with some precision here if you can, so that every part of this feels like you're in control. Come across, last one. And then from here, coming up, elbow to knee, and lifting that leg back. Stepping it back. And this time, go ahead and cross the elbow over and hold it here. You can have fist in the palm, brief little hold in the twist right here. See if you can let go of something, wring it out. That's what twists are designed to do. Wring out tension in the body. And from here, slowly lower your hands to the mat, push off the back foot, step forward. So from here, your feet can be about hip width apart or together, it doesn't really matter. And I want you to allow as much of a bend in the legs as feels good for you. Don't get hung up on straightening the legs. That is not really the main point of this. So legs wherever they feel, especially if it's bothering your back. So from here, relax, let your head and your upper body feel heavy, crown of the head kind of pointing to the floor. If you're looking at your feet, you're holding your head up. And then from here, engaging the legs, grounding through the feet, belly button to spine, slowly roll up. And we're doing that same peel open. So hips come forward, engage the glutes to protect the back, and just peel open the front body section by section until you open up the throat last. And close off the throat first. Coming down, just closing off the front body as you pour yourself down. So this is front, superficial front line, and superficial back line opening. So do that a couple more times. Inhale, come up. Hips come forward, opening up the front body. And then exhale, closing off the front, coming into that forward fold to stretch the back body. One more time. Coming up. And pressing those hips forward. And closing it off. And from here, just a little bit longer in the forward fold. Play with shifting forward, taking a little weight forward, having a little bit of lightness in the heels. A lot of times that'll free up the low back a little bit. Play around with maybe you straighten one leg, then the other. Just kind of feel free to kind of let yourself sway side to side, forward and back. Hands can go into the elbows. Just kind of find that place where you feel like you can sort of let your body hang, suspended in air, opening up the back body. Big inhale through the nose. Big sigh. All the way out. From here, slowly roll up nice and slow, coming all the way up to standing. When you get all the way up to standing, just take a couple of shoulder rolls, forward and back a few times. And you can match this with your breath, so you can inhale forward and up. Exhale, all the way down the back. 2 more times, inhale forward and up. Exhale. And last one, inhale forward and up. Exhale, lower, all the way down. So we're gonna rock between lifting onto the balls of the feet and taking the hands up, taking the fingers back, which is a superficial front line stretch, and then we're gonna flip that where we pull the toes up, take the fingers down, and stretch the back line. So the hard part is balancing on the heels but I want you just to try because it's kind of something we don't do often enough, but it's kind of good to have that balance both ways because usually we're a lot better on the ball of the foot. So from here, inhale up, go ahead and come up onto the balls of the feet, flick the fingers back. And then from here, lower the heels and bring the hands forward, point the toes down, pull the balls of the feet up. Move back and forth. Inhale, lift, hopefully you have better balance than me, and lower down and come forward. One more time like that, inhale, come up, and exhale, come down. And then go ahead and release those arms, just kind of shake it out. And then from here, I literally want you to swing those arms side to side. Let go of that feeling of being rigid, locked. And then come back to center, and I want you to swing one arm forward and back. Just kind of moving through the trunk, that trunk rotation. And switch sides, so other side's gonna come up. And just do whatever range of motion your shoulder's okay with. For example, if your arm doesn't wanna go up that high, that's okay. And last one. Now go ahead and bring the arms out to the side. Step your feet wide apart. Turn the toes out a little bit, coming into your goddess. You're kind of, I don't know, medium level squat. I mean, if you're really feeling like you wanna work hard today, the lower you take your hips, the more leg work it is. So if you don't want to work the legs that hard, keep your hips up a little bit. Also, knees track with the ankles. So if your knees are coming in, you need to change the position of the feet. Turn the feet a little bit more forward. And you also don't want your heels weighing close because we're not really in ballet class right now. So finding that position where you feel like you can keep that nice sense of being balanced in the feet, joints tracking, arms wide. From here, you're gonna have one hand that's gonna pull under. Just think of this as wringing out the arms. This is an arm spiral exercise. So you're gonna look over the right arm, pull the chin in and kind of keep your eyes up. It's like you're giving your hand the stink eye. And then from here, kind of come through center, have a lift, and then exhale, extend through the other side. Now I want you to move side to side. Think about kind of wringing, and you can have a little bit of a reach if you like. And last time coming to center, last little hold right here. Trying to pull the shoulder blades together, keep those shoulders in socket, squeeze them in. Last little dip low, and inhale up into that 5-pointed star, reach up, look up. And exhale, arms down, toes turn forward, and step the feet together, shake that out. Moving through a vinyasa, so once you come forward on your mat, feet in your Tadasana mountain pose, and I want you to have that sense that you're balanced evenly in your feet, engaging the muscles of the legs, feeling like the ankles, the knees, hips, shoulders are all stacked one on top of the other. And from here, inhale, take the arms up, and exhale, dive into that fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, lower. This time you're gonna step the left foot back, coming into that high lunge on the other side. And once you get here, come all the way up. Kind of plant your hands on your hips. Get squared up here so your feet can train track about hip width apart. I want you to feel nice and steady here. So same thing we did on the other side is we're gonna come, I feel like we're on the same side here. When I come forward, am I here? No, we're not. Okay, that's good. All right, so you're gonna take your right arm forward and your other arm can be back a little bit. So from here, you're gonna dip the back knee, come up, and then reach the other hand up and step that left foot a little bit forward. Keep that right glute nice and strong here. And then step back again. Feeling stable right here, a little dip. And then from here, reach up and come forward. One more of those, coming back. Feet as far apart as you like. Try to do a little more gracefully than I am right now. And from here, a little dip, pushing off, and stepping forward. Now we're going to come back and do a little bit more cross-body movement here. So this time, you're going to take your elbow across, tap, and then as you push off, you're going to come forward and reach across and tap that knee. Now this feels like we've done the same side, so we're going to switch sides. Go ahead and lower the left foot and take the right foot back. So now we're going to do the crossover, elbows side to side. So from here, come across, tap, push off the back foot, bring it up. It's okay if you tap your toes. And then from here, you're going to lean forward, reach that right leg back, and then slowly bend the left leg. Try to come back slow and back into that lunge with as much control as you can. Again, come across, tap, lift up, push off, tap, and extend the leg back. Slowly with control. It's okay if you come out of balance. Obviously I do, so just catch yourself, just do the best that you can. So one more of these. Come across, elbow taps the knee, coming back up, pushing off the back leg, bringing it forward, tap, extending the leg back, and slowly lowering that leg. Go ahead and take the elbow outside the knee, brief little pause in that twist. See if you can twist away something you don't want anymore. And then coming back to center, we're going to do a set of those little push-offs from here. So from here, I want you to reach your left arm forward, right arm is back. From here, dip the back knee and push that foot forward, reaching that arm up. And step back again, dipping that leg, push forward, cross. One more time, coming back, and push off, reach forward. Now step back, holding it right here. Inhale, take the arms up, and exhale, lower the hands to the mat, taking that front foot back. Coming into your down dog. From your down dog, go ahead and pull forward and lower yourself onto your belly. When you get all the way down, inhale into what I call a baby cobra. So roll the shoulders forward and pull the shoulder blades and the shoulders down the back. Keep the elbows in close and just lift up any amount. We did a lot of psoas work. Exhale, come down, which always helps. So this is where your tennis ball comes in. If you have your tennis balls, go ahead and grab one or both of them. If you only have one, put one in front of one hip. You want it right inside the hip bone, a little bit above the pubic bone, but inside the hip bone, right around where your hip flexor is, right around there. And if you've only got one, I want you to rock side to side on one side, and then the other. If you have two tennis balls, go ahead and place it on the opposite side. And you'll know you're on the psoas because you'll feel it in your teeth, usually. So see if you can kind of rock side to side. You can tuck the toes under and do a little jiggle forward and back. If you can stand it, you can come onto the chin and really take more weight. But I want you to really get into that psoas. That's a deep hip flexor muscle that tends to get short and tight, and it really affects our posture because it's hard to stand up straight when that muscle is short and tight. If you don't have tennis balls, then what you can do is make a fist with your hand and place that fist in the same spot. So thumb down, fist going right into that psoas, and do that same little rock side to side. Or you can have the fist flat with the knuckles kind of coming into the psoas. So just use the fists if you don't have your tennis balls. So once you've rolled and hit both sides for maybe a minute or so. We're gonna go ahead and come back into that cobra again. So bring your hands close to underneath the shoulders, maybe a little bit back. So roll the shoulders forward and back. Really feel the shoulder blades, the shoulders. You can kind of do that same traction thing where you're pulling the hands and the elbows back, pushing into the mat, and that allows your the crown of your head to come forward. From here, inhale up again, and notice if you have a little bit more room after rolling out. Usually we do. Come down. We're going to do that again. So tennis balls, fists, rubber balls, lacrosse balls. I don't know. I think lacrosse balls are evil when it comes to this, but you know what? You do you. So come back in again. Maybe you find the same spot. Maybe you find a different spot. So rocking side to side. Maybe you, oh, that's awful. Lift the knees and kind of roll forward and back. It just depends on your tolerance for discomfort. Remember, you can also come down all the way, take it all the way onto the balls as much as you can stand. You can try bending, straightening the legs a little bit here. You can even lift the knees here. Just try to really get into that psoas as much as you can. And last little hold. And carefully move your fists off to the side or take your tennis balls off to the side. One more cobra. Again, kind of getting set here, making sure that you feel like you're long. And from here, just kind of open up into the back bend of your choice. If you feel like you want to press the floor away from you and come up a little bit here, if it doesn't bother your back, this is okay, but if you're feeling anything in the low back, I want you to skip it. And lowering all the way down from here. You're going to pull the belly button to the spine, push up and back, hips go back, child's pose to give that low back a little bit of love. So you can actually press your hands into the mat, and with that traction, kind of hollow out the belly a little bit and really try to get into that low back. You can take your hips to one side if you like. Maybe you take your hips to the other side. Just try to really give that low back some love, because sometimes when we stretch the psoas, it can make the low back just a little unhappy. That's why you have to be really careful not to get into a psoas stretch where you're really feeling discomfort in the low back. Walk the hands in. Once you get the hands in, drop the hips to one side and swing the legs forward. And go ahead and scoot. Give yourself some room to roll all the way down onto your back. So, hands in front. Slowly lower yourself all the way down. Coming all the way down onto the back. If you can, stop just above the floor and hold it here. And all the way down. Reach the arms overhead. I'm kind of inchworming because I got too far forward on my mat. So go ahead and stretch long, legs long, arms long, big stretch. If this doesn't feel good in your shoulders, just reach up to the ceiling instead. Or you can take the arms to the side, either way. And then when you're ready, just exhale, relax the arms out from the hips, palms up, and just let your body sort of settle into gravity, into the mat. Take a moment and process all those movements, cross-body movements, stretches. And walk the feet in. And once you have the feet in, go ahead and have them about hip-width apart. And from here, I want you to inhale, take the arms overhead as you lift the hips and lift the heels, kind of lifting the body up into what we call a bridge pose. You can always try to lower the ribs and just push the hips up. If you want to work on releasing a rib flare, it's kind of up to you. But I want you to play around with those options of either pulling the ribs up or letting the ribs stay down, which is what I'm going to do because I have a big rib flare I'm trying to correct. So you do whatever works for you. From here, as you exhale, lower the heels, lower the hips, coming all the way down. Bringing the arms down. And I want you to bring the legs up, flex the feet, and pull the legs towards you. And you can bring your upper body to the legs at the same time. And lower the feet. Take the arms overhead. Big lift of the hips, ribs down if you like. Lift those hips and use the glutes to really press the hips up. Exhale, heels down, hips down, bringing the knees in, flex the feet, and just take the head and the knees together. Last one, reach the arms long, drop the feet. So from here, moving into that bridge, hips up, heels up, trying to sink the ribs as you keep the hips pressed up, really engaging the glutes to lift the hips, using the glutes. And lifting the heels will usually give you a little bit more space. You can also flick the hands back like you're trying to touch the fingertips to the floor, stretching that superficial front line. And then exhale, slowly lower hips and heels down and bring the knees in and feet are flexed. You can reach up and grab the feet. It's okay if the knees are pretty bent. You can do a little happy baby here if you want. You can always grab the blades of the foot and see if you can keep your legs from pulling. See my shoulders? You need to pull the shoulders into socket. Pull them in towards the floor to kind of keep the shoulders healthy. So don't let the legs pull your shoulders way forward out of the socket. Rocking here is fine. Taking the soles of the feet together for a bound angle, always an option. If you want, you can just reach the legs up and kind of just reach your hands towards the legs. You grab onto the toes if you can get there. Let the legs come into a little straddle if you want to. You can kind of brace the legs with your hand. A little rock side to side is okay here. I'm kind of cheating, resting my foot on the window ledge, which you can certainly do at home. It's just conveniently there. You can also have the legs dropped open, bent, and just kind of grab the inside of the knee and just gently rock those hips side to side. See how that feels? Just play around for a minute with some stretches, just kind of getting rid of any last little tension in the low back, wherever you might feel it. And go ahead and bring the knees together, release the feet to the floor. Take the feet wide apart. The width of your mat may be wider, I want to run into here. And let the knees drop towards each other like you're knock-kneed, and let the arms come out to the side, palms up. This is a nice little reset and release for the low spine, the lumbar spine, which is nice after all the psoas work that we've done. So see if you can breathe into the tailbone, the low belly, the sides of the hips. Breathe into the psoas, the hip flexors. I want you to take a big inhale. Imagine allowing that whole area of the body, the lowest part of the, like into the pelvic floor, just allow that whole body to open up. Release on the inhale. And exhale out through the mouth and just allow everything to sink back down, gently squeezing out that air. 2 more just like that. So inhale, breathing into the lowest parts of the spine, the belly, the pelvic floor. Big inhale, feeling that move in every direction. And exhale through the mouth. Big sigh, let that go. 1 more, last one. Breathe into that low spine. Imagine, if you like, the color red in your mind, breathing into that first chakra. supported, secure. And exhale, let that go. And release the knees, go ahead and heel toe the feet back together and extend the legs long, extend the legs long. We're moving into our Shavasana. Couple of simple adjustments, press the elbows into the mat, lift the shoulder blades, pull the shoulder blades down. Extend the arms out from the body a little bit, palms up. Legs can be kind of reaching to opposite corners of the mat. If you have any low back issues, you can have something underneath the backs of your knees. You can always support them in a chair, have them maybe on the edge of the sofa. And if you don't have those options, come back to the feet wide and let the knees kind of knock knee in together. That's a good little safe position for a low back release. So if your low back cannot get comfortable, see if this will work. If you don't have anything to put behind the knees. Any other little adjustments? Pillow underneath the head, blanket over you. I want you to take the time to get comfortable enough to relax and let go and to stay here for some period of time. So you stay in your Shavasana, your corpse pose position. I'm going to come up and talk you through your Shavasana. So once you get situated, eyes are closed. Your body is relaxing into gravity. You're starting to shift from that effort and that doing in class to just letting yourself be, to turning off, to surrendering all effort. This is about letting go. And your next breath, I want you to imagine you can breathe into the right foot. Feel that inhale come into the right foot. And you can almost feel that breath coming in with a little bit of energy, maybe a little bit of light heat. And feel that move all the way up the right leg, into the right hip. And then it moves across to the left shoulder, up the left side of the face. And then your exhale moves down the right side of the face, into the right shoulder. Comes across to the left hip, all the way down the left leg and out the left foot. And your next breath is going to come right in that left foot. Feeling that heat, that energy, that warmth with that breath, moving up the left leg, the left hip, across to the right shoulder, the right side of the face. And your exhale moves down the left side of the face into the left shoulder, across to the right hip, all the way down the right leg and out the right foot. Next breath comes in both feet, moves up both legs, both hips coming up both shoulders, both sides of the face. And your exhale comes back down. Sides of the face, both shoulders, both hips, both legs, out both feet. And just allow your body to turn off and rest, feeling balanced, grounded, and allowing yourself to stay in this breath, this moment, this Shavasana.
And if you do, just go ahead and take that for yourself now. Just mute me, pause the video, and take as much time as you need to feel rested and restored. And if you're ready to move out, just take a couple of breaths and just notice how you're feeling. Notice on a physical level what sensation is going on in your body right now. Check in with that subtle little energetic current that moves through your body, that low level hum, that low level buzz. Just notice how that feels in your body. Check in with your mind, your breath. And see if there's some quality you want to wrap around you and seal into your body with intention with your breath. Just wrap it around you like a warm blanket, a force field. And keeping that with you when you're ready. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, roll over onto your favorite side. Curled up on your side, wrapped in your warm blanket, your force field. Just take this last breath close to the ground and just feel how soothing, how comforting it is to be close to the ground with so much of your body with contact on the floor. Imagine that you're soaking in, absorbing all those qualities you associate with the earth, the steadiness, the calmness, that feeling of being grounded. And I want you to keep that with you as you slowly push up from the floor, coming into your sitting or kneeling position. And when you get there, palms together in front, palms together in front. And take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly let your head relax forward to your fingertips, thumbs or thumb knuckles touching the center of your forehead. Just briefly acknowledging that third eye, that internal intuition, wisdom that we all have. Eyes open, slowly adjust to light and color. And when you're ready, lift your head all the way up. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for Merge Flow. I hope you guys have a great night, and we will see you soon. So thanks for being here. Bye. Have a good night.